Hey, welcome.
Thank you.
As we always do, we always like to ask the question, how many here have never heard us before? And my next question is, what are you doing here? Anyway, we're happy that you're here. And you all know that we're not very far away from St. Patrick's Day. How many, what do they call those people who are? They're called Irish. How many of us have a little bit of Irish in all of us? I mean, it doesn't have to have the blood thing, but if we sometimes act just like them. Okay? Anyways, thank you for coming, and we hope that you like what we've got. You are welcome to sing when we sing. Where's Julie? Julie might say no to that. Julie says no. But there's nothing wrong with humming. As long as your mouth is closed. Okay, alright. We're going to start. And before we start, I want to say this about this group. This group in reality, to a certain degree, would not even exist if it wasn't for a guy who has been quite ill and so forth. He's now with us. Okay? Raise his hand. That's Lee Trotsky. Okay? Now, how this came about is that about 10 years ago, wasn't it, Lee? That we were in the wood shop, and I looked around. I was working with Lee at a table. I think Jim was there. I think Bob Cudhill was there, and I think you weren't there yet because you were a late comer. And Jim Bath was there, and we were all doing something. You know, different tables, guys doing different things. And I looked at Lee and I said, man, this is really nice. We should start a men's singing group. You know what the response was? No way. Okay, well here we are.
No way.
But anyway, it's been really fun, and we sing nothing but old stuff. Once in a while, we'll take a tune that you are familiar with and rework it. And go from there. But I hope that you enjoy what we're doing. They're all old songs, all of them. Once in a while, we'll throw in kind of an old-time gospel song, because we are living in where? Presbyterian homes. So that's not why we do it, but it's a nice beat. It's a song that many of you will know, and so again, feel free, because we don't care. Okay, Galloway Bay. This is an honor to a certain degree. Whoops. To St. Patrick's Day. And so we go, but here we go.
Watch the barefoot blossoms as they play.
in that dear land across the Irish Sea. And being here, that's why this is Irish Day. I got a story for you. Patty says to Murphy, I'm going to get the day off. I'm pretending I've gone mad. They were working at a building site. So Patty climbs up the rafters, hangs upside down, and shouts, I'm a light bulb, I'm a light bulb. While Murphy watches in amazement. The foreman shouts, Patty, go home, you've gone mad. As Patty leaves the site, Murphy starts to pack his kid up and to leave as well. Where do you think you're going? Says the foreman. Well, I can't work in the stupid dark, said Mary. Murphy. All right, continue. Tacos and mussels. Here's a song that's familiar to all of you. Make sure I add my wild Irish rose. Wild.
Wow.
but I will do my best. I hate to leave this thing on by here, because then I'll drown everybody out. So, I'll leave it there. We go from there. Are you ready for another Irish story? I'm getting tired of them. All right, here we go. The Irish are portrayed as being both great and terrible at giving directions. And if the Irish joke is anything to go by, it would be the latter. Billy stops Paddy in Dublin and asks for the quickest distance to Cork. How can I get to Cork the fastest way and shortest? Paddy says, are you on foot or in the car? Billy says, in the car. That's the quickest way. No, you got any Irish people in here? Do I do it again? No, okay. All right. We've taken the SawDusters, the Galloway song, Galloway Bay song, and reworded it. So here's our view of the Galloway Bay from the SawDusters viewpoint. Okay. So we sing the songs we all know and can
might sing too. So join us as we sing to you today.
Mike.
You've had enough? You've had enough Irish jokes?
Mike.
Here's one more. Ready? An Irish priest is driving down to New York and gets stopped by speeding in Connecticut. The state trooper smells alcohol on the priest's breath, then sees an empty wine bottle on the floor of the car. He says, "Sir, have you been drinking?" "Just water," says the priest. Trooper says, "Then why do I smell wine?" The priest looks at the bottle and says, "My stars, he's done it again." That's enough. Ready? Here's a song you all know. It's called "Roll Out the Barrel." Okay, you like it?
Yes, sir.
You won't recognize this one. Incidentally, this song, the words that we got were written by Mary. I added a couple things, but she did it. And then she had to look at it and clean it up. Yeah, okay. All right, here we go. The SawDusters, "Roll Out the Barrel." Here's a song about being lonesome. Ever feel that way? Most of you saying no. How can you? Look at this crowd. Can't be lonesome in here. Well, here's a story for you. It always has to do with Ireland. Okay? You know, I'm a Norwegian, so I guess I can do what I want. All right, here we go. This Irish joke is short and sweet. Here we go. Ready? Gallagher opened the morning newspaper and was dumbfounded to read in the obituary column that he had died. Okay? He jumps on the phone and calls his best friend Finney. Finney, did you see the paper? Asked Gallagher. They say I died. Yes, I saw it, said Finley. Where are you calling from? They're taking a nap. Oh, lonesome me.
Everybody going out and having fun. I'm just a fool for staying home and having fun. I can't get over how she set me free. Oh, lonesome me. How bet she's not like me. She's out and fancy free. Learning with the boy with all her charm. I still love her so, and brother, don't you know, I welcome her right back here in my arms.
Time out. There. Verse 2.
There must be some way I can lose these lonesome blues. Forget about the past and find somebody new. I'll cover everything from A to Z. Oh, lonesome me. Oh, lonesome me.
Okay, here's something you can all relate to. Is there anybody here who was at least 10 years old in 1951? I found these excerpts from 1951. Listen closely and see if times ever change. Ever think time changes? Is life different today than it used to be? Is it? All right, here we go. Ready? I'll tell you one thing. I'll tell you one thing. If things keep going the way they are, it's going to be impossible to buy a week's worth of groceries for 20 bucks. Okay? Have you seen the new cars? These are all from 1951, by the way. Have you seen the new cars coming out next year? It won't be long before $5,000 will only buy you a used car. Did you hear the post office is thinking about charging a dime just to send a letter? 1951. When I first started driving, who would have thought gas would someday cost 29 cents a gallon? Did you see where some baseball player just signed a contract for $75,000? Just to play ball? It wouldn't surprise me if someday they'll be making more than the president. Okay, that's old. Here's one. The senior lament. Why can't I do the things I used to do? Okay, kind of like what we just talked about. Why can't it be, a nickel to send them a letter or something? Here we go. Find my card.
Why can't I do the things I used to do? Why do I feel just like a worn out shoe? My mind's still clear and my hands are still true. Why can't I do the things I used to do? Can't seem to find more trouble. Listen to the radio. Can't tell you why or how or even when they finally go. Why can't I do the things I used to know? Why can't I see the TV show? My mind's still clear and my hands are still true. Why can't I do the things I used to do? Why can't I do the things I used to know? Why can't I see her hear a TV show? My mind's still clear and my hands are still true. Why can't I do the things I used to
Are you ready for this? Wait a minute. Yeah, I wasn't. Are you ready for this? This is for,
Mike,
it's on. This is for all of you that kind of understand something about what the Wild West was. Or you've read about it in your grade school books. Here we go. An old woman walked up and tied her old mule to the hitching post. She stood there brushing some of the dust from her face and her clothes. A young gunslinger stepped out of the saloon with a gun in one hand and a bottle of whiskey in the other. The young gunslinger looked at the old woman and laughed. "Hey, old woman, have you ever danced?" The old woman looked up at the gunslinger and said, "No, I never did dance. Never really wanted to." The crowd had gathered as the gunslinger grinned and said, "Well, you old bag, you're going to dance now." He started shooting at the old woman's feet. The old woman prospector, not wanting to get her toe blown off, started hopping around. Everybody was laughing. When his last bullets had been fired, the young gunslinger, still laughing, holstered his gun, turned around to go back into the saloon. The old woman prospector, not wanting to get her head already danced, the old woman turned on her pack mule, pulled out a double-barreled shotgun, and cocked both hammers. The loud clicks carried clearly through the desert air. The crowd stopped laughing immediately. The young gunslinger heard the sounds too. He turned around very slowly. The silence was almost deafening. The crowd watched as the young gunman stared at the old woman with the large gaping holes of those twin barrels. The barrels of the shotgun never wavered in the old woman's hands as she quietly said, "Son, have you ever kissed a mule's ass? The gunslinger swallowed hard and said, no ma'am, but I've always wanted to. Here are some lessons. You got them? Here we go. Number 1, never be arrogant. Number 2, don't waste ammunition. Number 3, whiskey makes you think you are smarter than you are. And number 5, don't mess with old people. They didn't get old by being stupid. Here's one of the Here's one of the old gospel songs that we want to do. This one is called "I'll Fly Away." That was a song that's very popular with most of the Christian schools. If there's any Baptists in there, I think you know that song. Pentecostals? Ever hear that word before? Did you? I am one. Okay, here we go. A Nazarene, Churches of Christ, and the Methodists. Always in the old time, that was the song that they all kind of sang. Okay, so it's not something that most people don't know. This one is called another one that's kind of like that, and it's called "Swing Low, Sweet Chariot." Now you can, I know I told you you can't sing, but if you do, I'm not going to lie and tell you that you didn't. Okay, here we go.
Very big home, a
Here's another old time one that is an old gospel song that you might know. It's called I Have a Mansion Over the Hilltop. How many know that song? A few of you. Come on. You might join us, but don't tell anybody I told you that. I'm satisfied with just a cottage below. And before I do that, you just need some more stories to kind of perk you up a little bit, right? Here are some, this is church things now, so we're okay. These are things that were on the church weekly bulletin. You know what the bulletin is in church?
Yes.
They have announcements on it. Here are some announcements that were in the bulletin. Sometimes you wonder when somebody prints those things why they don't think. Here we go. The service will close with little drops of water. One of the ladies will start and the rest of the congregation will join in. Next Sunday, a special collection will be taken to defray the cost of the new carpet. All those wishing to do something on the new carpet will come forward and do so. Ready for this one? The ladies of the church have cast off clothing of every kind, and they may be seen in the church basement on Friday. And here's one. The Bean Supper will be held on Tuesday evening in the church hall. Music will follow. All right, mansion over the hilltop. Ever sing the song to your... All right. You got it? Ever sing this song to your little kids as they were growing up and they couldn't go to sleep? Nobody? You don't know what the song is, do you? No. See if you figure it out. Here we go. Sometimes you sing it out when you get old. Mr. Sandman, bring me a dream. Into complexion like Jesus and dream. It hurts to live like Moses and over. And tell me that my long times are over. Sandman,
oh my Lord. Please turn around your enemy. Kiss your sins and bring me a ring.
I gotta turn around and do this. This is one that I did years ago when we first started, and it speaks of how we are when we get to another area where we don't understand their language, or you can't really figure out what they're saying. Here's a story of two Jewish men. Two old Jewish guys, Sid and Abel, are sitting in a Mexican restaurant one day. Sid asked Abe, "Do you know if any people of our ancestry were ever born and raised in Mexico?" Abe replies, "I don't know. Let's ask the waiter." When the waiter arrives, Abe says, "Are there any Mexican Jews?" The waiter says, "I don't know, senor. I asked the cooks." He returns from the kitchen after a few minutes and says, "No, senor. The cooks say no Mexican Jews." Abe isn't satisfied and asks, "Are you absolutely sure?" The waiter, realizing he's dealing with gringos, replies, "I'll check once again, senor," and goes back into the kitchen. While the waiter is away, Sid says, "I find it hard to believe that there are no Jews in Mexico. Our people are scattered everywhere." The waiter returns and says, "Senor, the head cook, Manuel, he said there is no Mexican Jews." "Are you certain?" Abe asks again. "I just can't believe there are no Mexican Jews." "Senor, I ask everyone," replies the exasperated waiter. "All we have is orange Jews, grape Jews, prune Jews, tomato Jews, apple Jews, but no Mexican Jews."
Everybody loves a baby, that's why I love her too. Pretty baby, and I'd like to be your sister, brother, friend, and mother too. Pretty baby, won't you come and let me rock you in my cradle of love? Cuddle all the time. Oh, I want a loving baby and a night as well be you. Pretty baby up, pretty baby up, pretty baby up mine.
finish with this one. Ready? Here's another old idea that was I used some time ago, and I think it might be okay. An old blind Packers fan. You know who that is? Any Packers fan in here? Any Packer lovers? I see one hand. How about some Vikings? Got any Vikings in here?
Yeah.
Good, this is for you. Ready? He's an old blind Packer fan. He wanders into a Vikings fan sports bar by mistake. He finds his way to the bar and orders a shot of whiskey. After sitting there for a while, he yells to the bartender, "Hey, do you want to hear a Viking fan joke?" The bar immediately is silent. In a very deep, husky voice, the woman next to him says, "Before you tell that joke, sir, I think it's only fair for you should know 5 things since you're blind. Number 1, the bartender is a Viking fan with a baseball bat. The bouncer is a Viking fan with a billy club. I'm 6 foot tall, 275-pound Vikings fan with a black belt in karate. The man to your right is a Vikings fan who is a professional wrestler. The person to my right is a Viking fan who happens to be a champion weightlifter. Now think seriously, sir. Do you still want to tell the Vikings fan joke?" The blind Packer fan sits there for a second, then shakes his head. "No, not if I'm going to have to explain it 5 times. Okay. Now, before we go any further, we're going to sing a special song. We want you all to join us if you can. I think see what happens. Okay, Mary, stand up. And I'm not asking politely. Mary's got a birthday on Sunday. Ready? Can you play the piano for us? Just give us a key. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Mary. Happy birthday to you. Here's a couple of songs you all know. We're going to finish with this, so here we go. It's a little different, but it's the same melody, so I'll make sure that I know the words so I don't lose you up in time. Same thing, but let me call you sweetheart. You can join us if you think you can. Let me call you sweetheart, I forgot.